Hey, welcome back to the SC-100 course. In this video, we are going to be talking about Microsoft Entra ID. Now, as I'm building out this course, when I first started out, I had created a timeline of what I wanted to show and what I thought was, important for you all to learn in order for you to pass the course, including going through with some of the Microsoft documentation and just thinking about some of the stuff that I remember being on the exam. Now, with that being said, I started this course. I kind of jumped into some areas that I really like to teach on. And I started off with a Defender for Cloud and kind of led into other different things for this course in terms of ad management groups and so on and so forth. But to be completely honest with you, I probably should have started off with Microsoft Entra ID. Now, this isn't one of the most exciting topics, and I kind of assumed most of you would know about this already, just because the Microsoft Entra ID and taking this course isn't normally the first certification that you get when you are going into the cloud. A lot of times, this is probably your third or fourth certification that you are going for. But I also, don't want to assume too much because then you make a fool out of yourself. So for that reason, I wanted to do this Microsoft Entra, just kind of talk through it. And I'm also going to talk about, different users, roles, and explanation, even though we kind of went into that already in some of the other videos. But just to kind of, level set with everyone because we're all coming from different perspectives. And, one thing I will say about this course that I'm doing, obviously it's free, but I, sometimes make changes as I progress through the course, which, I apologize for that, but at the same time, it's free. And then also, hey, I am providing you more videos, and probably I should change my outline a little bit. But at the end of the day, you are getting more education coming your way. So it's a positive. So when it comes to Microsoft Entra ID, what is Microsoft Entra ID? So Microsoft Entra ID is a cloud-based identity and access management service. So it helps employees, partners, apps, and devices securely sign in and access resources. It replaces Azure Active Directory and is now part of the broader Microsoft Entra family. Now, that is not to say that Microsoft Entra, once you have it, you don't have Active Directory. If you have an on-premise business, then you will still have your Microsoft Active Directory, which would now talk and communicate with your Microsoft Entra, and you would be syncing users and groups and so on and so forth. So the key capabilities are authentication and single sign-on, SSO, conditional access, identity protection, app access management, and business to business, which is B2B, and then business to customer identity collaboration. So some of the core functions of Entra is you control center for managing who can access what in your environment. So this should really be your proof of concept. No, excuse me, not proof of concept. This should really be your centralized source for all your employees' information. So you should be able to look here and understand, for users and groups, application access. Also with my multi-factor authentication, you have conditional access policies, device trust and compliance integration, and of course, role-based access control. So there is identity protection and conditional access. So with Microsoft Entra's identity protection, you get real-time risk detection like unusual sign-ins, leaked credentials, and impossible travel, which is a very important conditional access policy you want to apply to your organization to make sure that, hey, if somebody signs in into New York at 2 p.m., they shouldn't be able to sign in China at 2:30 p.m. So that is what they mean by impossible travel. So you combine that with conditional access to enforce policies like require MFA for risky sign-ins, block access from non-compliant devices, and enforce strong auth for sensitive apps. So there is the external identities, which is the B2B and B2C. Once again, the business to business is B2B and business to customer. So Entra ID enables secure collaboration with external users through B2B and B2C. External partners can access apps, use their own credentials, control what data and apps they use, and apply policies to guests just like internal users. So control what data and apps they see, So if they're going into your organization and you want to allow them to still sign in with their own identity instead of giving them an identity, you can go about doing that. and then you can now limit what they can see in your organization. And there's a way of going through that. Definitely the Azure security hardening tool is a great tool. So if you haven't used the Azure security hardening tool, I would suggest that you Google the Azure security hardening tool, and it literally talks you through how to harden your environment to make sure it's more secure. But I got you covered here in this course as well. So why Entra ID matters for SC-100 and Zero Trust. Entra ID is central to Zero Trust architecture. It's used to authenticate users and devices, enforce least privilege access, detect compromised credentials, and audit and review privilege activity. So some key takeaways about Microsoft Entra ID is your cloud identity backbone, power sign-in, policy enforcement, and secure collaboration, and it plays a critical role in Zero Trust and SC-100 architectural design. So that is a wrap for Microsoft Entra ID. We are going to have some more discussions around roles, service principals, managed identities, and so on and so forth. And we're also going to talk a little bit more about Entra roles with Zero Trust. So I want to thank you for watching this video. I hope the information I provide you is beneficial. The next couple of videos are going to be about some PowerPoint slides. And I am going to jump back into showing you some labs and going in front of the portal. I actually like doing learning that way, where I give you the theory and the practical. I feel like it really helps drive the information, so this way it sticks. For at least for me, that's how I learn better, is by doing versus just by seeing. All right, so once again, my name is Kieran Tross. I want to thank you for watching this video. Here at Cloud Scholars, my goal is to get you from scholar to consultant, and of course, consultant to expert. Thank you, and see you next time.